Hey guys, it's Megan. So in today's video, I will finally be doing another episode in my Wreck This Journal series. I know it's been a while and I'm super sorry, and I've been receiving a ton of requests from a lot of you guys to make a new Wreck This Journal video, so without further ado, let's just get into it. So the first page that I decided to work on this week was the Scrub This page, and for this page I decided to do an upside down theme from Stranger Things, and I decided to draw Barb, because what happened to Barb in Stranger Things Season 2, I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but it was very sad. So I decided to draw Barb on the left side of the page, and I used a Barb coloring page for reference. And if you guys were wondering, yes, I did intentionally draw Barb upside down. And so here is what Barb looked like once she was done, and I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. So now it was time to color her, and this was my first time really trying to shade using colored pencils, and it is definitely not the best, but I am trying to improve, and I got a huge set of 72 Prismacolor colored pencils for Christmas, so with all of those different colors, I've been trying to use some shading techniques that I have learned from other YouTubers, and like I said, it's not perfect, not at all, but you know, I tried. So first I colored in her skin, and I used two different shades of peach and I think some other color for her skin, and then for her hair I did the highlights in orange, and then I went back and filled it in with some red, and then I did an even darker color at the end, and the hair looks a little bit wonky, but like, honestly, at least you can tell who it is. And in the reference photo that I used, Barb is wearing a plaid shirt, so I tried my best to recreate that plaid on her shirt. And her binder had this like cool 80s holographic thing going on, so I tried to recreate that as best as I could. And now it was time to actually scrub the page, and I did this using a pencil eraser, and I was inspired by the box that my Stranger Things loot crate came in, and it had the upside down printed on the outside, and so I decided to try to recreate that on the page. So I just used the eraser to create some vines. And next I used colored pencils to make the vines look like the ones on the box, so I started out with a dark blue colored pencil. Then I went in and highlighted some of the areas with my white gel pen. And then I went in with a few more shades of blue until I got something that looked like this. And then I attempted to draw the same type of vines behind Barb using colored pencils. And I colored the background black so that it would match the other side. And so here is how the finished page came out, and I'm pretty happy with it, but I like the upside down background on the right side better than on the left side behind Barb, because when I did it on the white paper, it looked a little bit weird. But otherwise, I'm really happy with this page. The next page I decided to do this week was the color this entire page, and for this page I decided to draw the Powerpuff Girls, because this kind of made me think of like a coloring book, and when I was little the Powerpuff Girls was my favorite show, and I probably colored them like a million times. I had a Powerpuff Girls coloring book, so I decided to draw them on this page. And then I went ahead and colored them in, and again I used my Prismacolor colored pencils, and this whole video was pretty much just an excuse to test out my new colored pencils. And I colored them in their traditional colors, so for Bubbles, she has blue eyes, a blue dress, and yellow hair. For Blossom, she has orange hair, a red bow, pink eyes, and a pink dress, and Buttercup has green eyes and a green dress, and black hair. And since it said to color the entire page, I decided to draw a background, and the background is pretty much just a like radiating point of pink, blue, and green. And so here is what the page looks like so far, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do on the left side yet. I might leave it blank and use it to do one of the create your own prompts, or I might draw the villains on that side. And the next page that I decided to do was another Stranger Things inspired page, and for this page I decided to draw Joyce, and I used a coloring page for reference for this picture as well. And when I saw the prompt for this page, which was scribble wildly, violently with reckless abandon, I knew I wanted to do something with Joyce and some tangled Christmas lights. So I drew Joyce and then I colored her in, and again I tried to do some more shading than I normally do, and I'm actually really happy with how she came out. And I still need to work on shading skin and hair, but I think that the shirt came out pretty good. Then I cut my Joyce drawing out, and I scribbled all over the page. And I wanted the scribbles to be like the cord of the Christmas lights, and I initially wanted to draw Joyce holding the Christmas lights, but that pose was way too hard to draw, so I decided to draw her in this pose instead and just have the Christmas lights be behind her. And then I just used a glue stick to attach Joyce to the page. And then I drew the bulbs of the Christmas lights, so I did a maroon color, orange, yellow, green, and blue. And once that was done, I moved on to the left side of the page where I drew the iconic Stranger Things alphabet wall, and I just colored that in with a black marker, and all of my markers kept dying on me. It was a struggle, but I finally finished it. And once that was done, I went ahead and I drew the Christmas lights on the left side of the page, and then I took my white gel pen and I drew some highlights on top of the lights. And so here's how the finished page came out, and I love this page. I think that it is one of my new favorite pages. The next page I decided to do was the wrap something with this page, and since we just had Christmas and we still have all of our Christmas stuff down, I thought that this would be the perfect time to do this page. So I took some of this Christmas themed tissue paper and I cut that out and then glued it onto the page. Next, I removed the handles from an old gift bag and then I hot glued that on top of the tissue paper. And while I was waiting for my glue gun to heat up, I went ahead and I colored in the top part of the page. And then I just glued down the gift bag, and now I have a cute little pocket to store any of the pages that I have to cut out of the book. And here's how the finished page turned out, and it was really easy to make, but I think that it still came out super cute, and this is a great way to store all of the loose pieces that I'll need to cut out later. The next page that I decided to do was the really ugly drawing page, and so I drew this emoji, and apparently I'm not allowed to say what it is because YouTube doesn't like that now, so you guys can see what it is though. And I was feeling a little bit lazy, and I really did not feel like drawing two of these, so what I did was I took the drawing that I drew, and then I put the other page on top of it, and then I took a pencil eraser and I just erased over all of where the drawing was so that it transferred onto the left page, so that I had two pictures and I only had to draw it once. And the drawing is a little bit hard to see, but it is there on the left, and I just used a pencil to go over some of the lines that I missed. And then I outlined both drawings with a black Sharpie, and I colored in the pupils of the eyes with a black colored pencil. And then I went ahead and colored the one on the right side of the page brown, and again I tried to do some sort of shading on it. It wasn't very successful, but again I tried, and then on the left side of the page I did a rainbow one. And again, even though this page was pretty easy to do, I still think that it came out pretty cute, and it's ugly because of the subject matter, but it's cute because they're emojis. And next I decided to do the make a funnel and drink some water page, so I carefully cut that out of the page. And I wanted to do something with the empty space in the book, so I decided to turn it into sort of a swimming pool. So on the back I glued a water printed scrapbook paper, and then on top I glued this tile printed scrapbook paper. And I have no idea what happened to the clips in between here and there, but basically I decided to draw a sunset in the background, and I drew some palm trees on a separate sheet of paper, and then I glued them in with a glue stick. And so here's how the finished page turned out, and this is definitely not one of my favorites. It's one of those pages that looked better in my head, but then once I did it, it's just kind of like, but I still like it. And the next page that I decided to work on was the test page, and this page is pretty self-explanatory. It's just a place to test your art supplies. So I decided to go ahead and test all of my new colored pencils. I just drew a little heart with every single one, and guys, I was just way too excited about these colored pencils. What can I say? And the last page that I decided to work on this week was the collect the stamps off of all your mail page, and I don't get that much mail, but I got my first letter in my P.O. box this week, and it's from a girl named Miley. She is so awesome, so thank you so much, Miley. And I wanted to put the stamps from her letter in the book. So I went ahead and I used a glue stick to attach them. And Miley asked me to show her letter in a video, so here's her letter, and thank you so much, Miley. You are amazing. Thank you for all of your support. And I promise that I will write you back soon. And for those of you who are wondering, my P.O. box is Megan Weller, P.O. Box 564, New Cumberland, PA 17070. and if anyone else ends up writing to me, I will put their stamp in this book and give them a shout out in a video. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you're not already and you'd like to be, make sure to subscribe for more videos just like this one. And as always, if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure to follow me on Instagram. It's @WellerMegs. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!